While watching Jerome Powell speak today on YouTube, I noticed some funny and interesting user comments where people shared what they think caused inflation and what they think the solution for inflation is. I thought it may be fun and useful for me to share their comments as well as address them. Stranger number one thinks that the Federal Reserve doesn't understand that inflation was caused by the trade wars and its supply chain issues. Well, the trade wars actually have nothing to do with inflation. The supply chain issues are part of inflation, but they were caused by bad government policy when governments across the globe overreacted to COVID with all of the shutdowns and layoffs. By textbook definition, it was the government overspending and printing of money, especially from 2020 to 2022, that caused the bulk of inflation. Although some things, like gas prices, are also affected by the pipelines, licenses, and foreign and domestic deals that were canceled. Stranger number two wonders why the Federal Reserve is considering another interest rate hike when the GDP and unemployment numbers are actually pretty good. Well, that's because when the GDP and unemployment numbers are good, the Federal Reserve thinks that it must not be tightening the economy enough to stop inflation. But because we've already brought inflation back from 9 to 4%, I think in this case we can have a good GDP and unemployment number plus beat inflation still. Stranger number three thinks that we should solve inflation by allowing the government to control prices. Well, first of all, that's like putting a blanket over a mess. You're not actually solving the problem. You are entirely ignoring the cause and solution of inflation by simply controlling the price on the surface level. Secondly, we already know that our corrupt and inefficient government, like others, can't possibly do that correctly. The free markets have been far more prosperous and accurate.